All right, guys, thanks for joining us this afternoon. We've got a couple of Missouri State players ready to go. And before Coach Bobby Petrino joins us here in about 10 minutes, we'll start with quarterback Matt Struck, who got his first start as a Bear on Saturday, completed 76% of his passes, and led the Bears to their first win in Cedar Falls since 1998. So congrats, Matt, on that. Did you know it had been that long since the Bears had won in that building?
No, actually, the first I saw it was on Twitter after the game, but it was a pretty crazy stat.
Fantastic. Well, great job. We'll go straight into questions for you.
Yeah, Matt, I heard on the broadcast how you didn't start there. That was your one game that you didn't start when you're at Idaho State, and then you were able to start in the game for the Bears there as your first start. Just how crazy was it that everything just kind of came full circle for you there?
Yeah, I actually saw that a long time ago when I first looked at the schedule for the spring. I was like, oh, how ironic. They're playing Northern Iowa. That'd be cool to get a chance to play them again, especially at their place too, because they have a pretty cool facility.
And just what was that moment like for you? I mean, just being able to seeing Coach be drenched with Gatorade after the game, saw him hug you after the game and everything, and I mean, it's a big deal when you're able to pull off a win like that for Missouri State football. Just kind of what was kind of the mood with you guys? Just a feeling a change or anything?
Yeah, we were pretty happy after the game, but I think that as a team, like day in and day out, we kind of are working towards achieving these types of things like every Saturday, and we have another battle ahead of us this week, and we're just taking it day by day.
Did you know that you were or how far in advance did you know that you were gonna get the start on Saturday? Because I think most people found out that Jaden wasn't going to be in the game until right before game time. How far in advance did you know that you were going to get the start, and how comfortable did you feel out there?
I think I got the for sure about Wednesday, and then we just went through practice, and I just kind of took a lot of the reps, so I kind of got the gist of it. But I was pretty comfortable out there. I had started a couple of games before, so I just wanted to go out there and be calm and not try to do too much with it, knowing that it's my first start, and just kind of go with the flow of the game and just try to get out there with a W.
Are you a starter going forward?
That's yet to be determined. I'm not sure.
What was going through your head on that 3rd and 9, that read option play? Was that like a designed read option, or was that designed to go to you? And what was your thoughts just like running down the left side of that field, knowing you needed to get that first down?
Yeah, actually, there was a couple of plays we had that were similar to that earlier in the game, and I missed the read, and I probably should have ran the ball, but I didn't. So then that kind of worked itself out, setting it up the whole game. And then I just saw the guy crash on the left side, so I pulled it and thankfully got the first down that kind of iced the game.
On 4th down there, Coach keeps you guys out on the field. Just what did that mean to you for him to be able to say, hey, we're going to throw the ball here, we have a little lead, instead of pinning them back a little more when the defense was playing well?
Yeah, it was a good feeling. I think he gave everybody on the offense confidence and that he left us out there. And then when we were on the field and we got the play call, it was kind of just like, all right, like this is our time to go prove it. And we went out there and gave us the right look defensively, and we capitalized.
You guys are riding a pretty hot hand right now, 3-1. Was the message in the locker room after the game or Petrino all happy and joyous and celebrating, or was it more like, we have more work to do, we got to get back to the grind and stuff like that?
We for sure acknowledge the fact that we just won, and kind of acknowledge that all of our work so far has led up to that moment specifically. And then now, I mean, it's a new day, and ultimately it doesn't really matter what you did last Saturday, and we have to just go throughout the week. And we know we have another good opponent this coming Saturday, and we just kind of have to try to finish out and keep our head down and keep trying to win every week.
You said that you weren't exactly sure whether or not you're the starter or not. Do you approach it as that now, going through the meetings and going through practice until somebody tells you otherwise?
I mean, kind of. You kind of have to go into that regardless, even if you knew that you weren't the starter that week. You kind of try to have to push the guy if there is somebody ahead of you. And that's kind of the mindset I have, because clearly I didn't start the first few games, but of course I wanted to. So I wanted to keep going and prove myself every day, and hopefully it would work out for me one time. And I got my opportunity and it seemed to work out.
Did anybody talk about the fact that it's been like since 1998 that you've won up there at the Dome, and there's only been 5 wins since the 80s against Northern Iowa itself?
That's crazy. Like I said earlier, I saw it on Twitter actually after the game, and then more information about that kept coming in. So it made the win a lot more special, especially on that plane ride going back.
You and DeMaurier have seemed to have a good connection going. 2 weeks in a row, you're hitting him for the clutch plays down the field along the sideline. Just kind of how's that working out, and why is that your go-to guy?
I mean, I have trust in all the receivers, really, from tight ends, because we have a bunch of them, and the running backs are catching the ball really well too. But ever since I got here, me and Vic have thrown the ball together a good amount, and we've developed a pretty good connection. He likes when people throwing up so he can go get it. So just wanted to use his skill set.
Can you talk about just coming back home now to Plaster Stadium in Missouri State with this couple big upset wins and the record that you have, and maybe get some of the students out there on Saturday afternoon?
I know, hope so. Hope so we can pack the stadium. I mean, we were on the road last 2 weeks, so it's good to be home. Good to go try to put a show on in front of our fans for once in the last couple of weeks.
All right, Matt, looks like that was your last question, man. Thanks so much. We appreciate you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
All
Matt.
right. Jeremy Webb on deck. Jeremy had 8 tackles against Northern Iowa, including, I think, 5 solo. He led the defense with that at Northern Iowa, and he'll be hopping in here momentarily.
Oh, what's going on?
Hey, Jeremy, how are you?
Doing good.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us. We'll take a few questions from the media, and I guess we'll get an initial reaction from you just on how important that win on Saturday was for you and the defense.
I think it was huge. Just like every other week, whenever we put out a W, I felt like we prepared well for it. We knew what we were up against, what kind of offenses, what they kind of like to do with the ball, offensive skill set wise, their playmakers and everything. So I think our coaches really did a great job just kind of trying to limit their plays as much as possible.
All right, questions for Jeremy.
Early in the season and even in the spring, you didn't really seem to get tested that much. You're pretty much locking up everybody that you went against. And on Saturday was really the first time that I saw you get a lot of action. You usually lock everybody up, like I said. What was your reaction to getting thrown at a lot more than usual? Do you appreciate that, or do you like it more when you just get to lock people down and don't get the ball thrown your way?
Yeah, it was kind of I don't want to say a shocker, but it was different from all the other games because I didn't really get much action early on this spring. But no, I definitely appreciate it because it let me go out there and lock in and focus on what I really need to do and actually help out my defense as much as possible and play my side of the ball, play my side of the field, and just try to make plays when they came my way.
Did you
Montre's got more picks than you this spring. Or do you go back and get the fall stats and show him that, or just how's that working within the locker room?
Yeah, I'm counting it up 3-3. So right now we tied right now, but hopefully I could get some more passes my way so I could go up a little bit.
Can you just talk a little bit about the salty defense that this team is showing? I mean, a little bit of a reputation out there now about the defense of this Bears team.
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of like we all really clicking well. We all playing really good together. Communication is at an all-time high. And really we just out there having fun. For the most part, it's just like we see what we can do. We see what kind of defense we can be. We see how we fly around, how we tackle well, how we make plays. And it all really just comes down to us just having a lot of fun out there. So it's kind of like, I guess it's really working out well for us.
With all the new faces, I mean, there's not really a knowledge of the history of this football program, but it's been a long time since y'all won a game up at the Dome, and then to have back-to-back wins over ranked teams on the road. I mean, this is some unprecedented stuff.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the history, but I've definitely heard about it a little bit. And like I said, I feel like it's just a compliment to our coaches and all the players and everybody really just buying into like what we got going right now.
How fun is that secondary? Because I mean, you, Montre, Kyrie, and you got some other guys out there as well. But I mean, you guys are we see all the sacks, but some of the times the guys are holding on to the ball for a while because you got them locked up. Just how much fun has that been with the secondary?
It's a lot of fun. Like I said, we just enjoy making plays and watching each other make plays. we just kind of take pride in not getting caught on, not letting up big plays, and just like we give the defense, defensive line coverage sacks, they get to the ball a lot of times and they kind of save us sometimes as well too. I feel like as a defense as a whole, it's just, like I said, it's just a lot of fun to be out there with those guys.
And when you're winning games 13-6, that's you guys are holding them. You guys aren't allowing them in the end zone. Just how good is this unit in kind of your eyes from some of the teams you've been able to play on?
I think it tells a lot about a defense to be able to hold people to a little bit like that less points as possible, especially down in the red zone when they do get down there, not letting them in the red zone, just leaving them to a field goal. I feel like that's huge. I'm not sure how good we could be, but we definitely gonna try to reach whatever level we can reach.
Can you talk about coming home? A couple of road games coming back home, maybe trying to get the students out there, get everybody to come out and see this team?
It'll definitely be fun to have a pack out plaster. Definitely after having like a couple of away games or road games and not being really only playing one home game this whole spring. So I'm definitely looking forward to a lot of people coming out, supporting us, and hopefully getting this W and pulling out this W this weekend.
Just going back to the defense real quick, you played with a different group of guys in the spring, and since then, Petrino got some recruits, he got some transfers. Were you surprised by any of that? And how have you guys clicked from day one, or has it been like a process to get you guys to work together to be where you're at right now?
I feel like just with all the new faces, everybody kind of bought in really early. It was kind of really, I would say like it wasn't as long as the process that I thought it would be to get those guys to kind of, gel and see what the bigger picture was for the defense. Everybody pretty came in and knew what their job was and knew what we had to do as a defense to get to where we wanted to be.
All right, Jeremy, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Coach Petrino joins us now. Coach, thanks for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate you so much. Congratulations on the big win on Saturday at Northern Iowa.
No, thanks, Rick. It was a hard-fought game, no doubt about it. Our defense played really well, made a lot of huge plays, particularly in situations that called for it. Offensively, I really liked our opening drive. It was, fun to see us execute, move the ball, go get it in the end zone on the first drive of the game. And then it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work to move the ball, a lot of work to get more points. We did put a couple good drives together and ended up with field goals. But at the end of the day, it was good for a win. So we'll certainly take it.
Yeah, you get a Gatorade bath there. You're hugging everybody while walking off the field. Just it felt like it meant a little more to the guys, just being able to come away with a win like that, and just kind of shows kind of the change of things kind of around here.
Yeah, it was just water, so that was the good thing about it. It didn't ruin any of my clothes or anything, but it felt great. It was kind of hot in there and humid. It felt super. So, but it was great to see our guys with smiles on their face. They go out and work so hard. And the first thing I said when I came here and took this job is we're going to look forward and not worry about the past. And these guys have done a great job of that, and just trying to compete extremely hard, prepare hard each week, and we've been battling and finding a way to win, which is something that we've worked hard to do, is to teach them how to win.
Coach, you said, don't look back. But if you do look back, you can put some of the perspective as to what this program has been able to do over the last month. You're winning games that haven't been won in decades at some of these places.
Yeah, like I said, we're just taking them one game at a time and trying to get better at practice each week, and trying to go out and get our pieces together to compete. And when you look at that win defensively, it's an unbelievable job, particularly when the game was on the line and big plays had to be made. We came up with either stops, sacks, negative plays. It was an unbelievable performance. And, right before half, they get first and goal, I think, from the 5, and we hold them to a field goal. That was huge right there. And we had mostly our backup D linemen in doing it, because the long drive, our starters were tired.
So I think our staff did a good job of knowing who's fresh and who could go out there and make plays. And it's been fun to see the number of defensive linemen that have contributed, like guys that spend a lot of the time on practice working at what we call the look squad, giving us the look from the other team. And they made plays in that game to help us win the game.
What's the plan at quarterback this week?
Yeah, we just go out and practice and see what happens and make them prepare for both guys.
Coach, I think a lot of people told you that, or would have told you that when you took this job, it would have been a long process to get this team back to where it was at its best in the 90s or something like that. And you came in and you decided to, get transfers, get good recruits, and try and win right away. What was the mindset going into that, and then how have you executed that?
Well, the mindset was the ability to get guys that we were familiar with, guys we had recruited in the past, guys that maybe played for some of our coaches or had a relationship and that were interested in coming here, and then when they got here and saw the city and the university, and, we really feel like we have a place that we can recruit to, and certainly a conference that we can recruit to. We just had to, get in a position where we can be competitive and compete to win games. And, I think we didn't really have any mindset on, okay, we're going to take this many freshmen, we're going to take this many junior college, this many transfers. We were just going to try to take the best guys that we possibly could get here, that would do a good job, and some of them have been graduate transfers and they've done a great job. I mean, their maturity, the way they practice, their leadership, even if they don't ever say a word, has helped us as a team just because of the way they practice and prepare for games. So we're just trying to, and we're only 3-1. We've got a long way to go, and we just got to take it one game at a time and continue to win.
What's the thought process on 4th and 6 for you to go there with the lead and the level of throw that Matt threw there?
Yeah, I just felt like I was putting a ton of pressure on the defense, and I didn't want to give them the ball back with that much time. I wanted to continue the drive and see if we could score a touchdown and put it away. We called a play that we're all very, very familiar with. He's got 2 options for the first down. They had been giving us a particular coverage that we like to see, and he did a great job. He had the Vic open down the sideline. It was an unbelievable catch. He had to go up and get it, keep one foot in. But then he also had a 6-yard out right there in front of him too, that he would have probably had to slow the receiver down because the corner came off a little bit. But he could have hit either guy for the first down. And very similar play that he hit the week before in a crucial situation. So you try to go to, plays that quarterbacks really understand the progression, know where we're at, and hopefully have an advantage. And he certainly made a great play.
Coach, I'm going to say what you just said about the quarterback making that good decision, making the good throw, looking through the progression. And you're saying you're going to go through practice and see who's your starting quarterback. Do we already know who the starting quarterback is?
Do you know who it is?
It seems like you just talked about it.
Yeah. I mean, I really liked the way Matt played. And the week before, Jaden did some really good things. And then when he got hurt, Matt came in and did well again. So, but I don't think there's any reason to come out and announce who the quarterback is. And, let's let them guess and see what they have to do to prepare for both of them. Because, and that's assuming that Jaden's healthy and ready to go. Like a week ago, I thought he was healthy and ready to go. He came in and did some physical activity on Monday, and then got headaches and blurred vision. And all of a sudden, the protocols set in place and he's out. So, I haven't met with the trainer yet today, so I don't even know where Jaden is right now as far as his ability to play this week.
All right. With that said, looking forward, talk a little bit about the Salukis. I mean, you got a team that took down North Dakota State, and just talk a little bit about the Saluki team.
Yeah, they've got a really great running game. They've got 3 guys that can run the ball. A lot of times they line up in a version of Wildcat, with a great big back that can run and throw the ball deep. Their other 2 running backs are great. They got a really fast receiving crew that we've got to be able to limit big plays. they're hurting a little bit at quarterback in the injuries that they've had, and that certainly affect them this past week. But I don't know what their health will be in our game. We've got to prepare, like they're going to be healthy and ready to go. So defensively, they got a big defensive front, fast linebackers, and a secondary that has a lot of experience. So they've played some games where they just dominated the game, and then they've played a couple games where it hasn't really went that way. So we've got to just worry about ourselves and get our preparation in and get better this week in practice.
Coach, Saturday's kind of a family affair for your family. What does it mean for your family for these two teams to play?
I mean, not a whole lot. We got to go beat them. That's really what it comes down to. That's you got two nephews that are on their staff. My dad's brothers were twins, Mike and Pat Petrino, and these are Mike's sons. And, they obviously have spent a lot of time around us, and we babysat Jared a bunch when he was a young kid growing up. And in fact, one day my dad fell asleep on the couch with my little brother, and Jared was they were supposed to be babysitting Jared at the time, and he ended up in the fireplace full of coal all over him. And my mom wasn't real happy about that, but it's a good story about Jared.
And Coach, I wanted to ask you about your reaction to Illinois State's decision to opt out of the rest of the season, and how do you feel it impacts your schedule going forward?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there or why they do it, and that's the unknown, and so I don't really have any comment about them opting out or reasons for it. Maybe their coach owes the Missouri State an apology for the fact that we couldn't play a game because of snow and ice, and he tried to pop off that we had some other underlying reasons, which is totally wrong. But other than that, I don't have anything to say about them.
Coach, you mentioned earlier when I asked you about like the recruits and the new guys and building a winning mindset and program that you just said we wanted to get the best guys possible. And you had some players play pretty well for you in the spring that aren't seeing much of the field right now. What went into the decision to, get new players and new recruits and play them over the guys that may have had impressive springs?
Yeah, well, what you try to do with your players is they understand that they get to go out on the practice field, and I always tell the players, you guys set the depth chart by how you practice and what you do on the field and what your resume says on the video of practice. That sets the depth chart. So each day they have an opportunity to move up the depth or they move down the depth, depending on how they compete and how they play. And, as a coach, I want them all to have success and I'll be able to go out there and play and have fun with it and compete with it. But it's up to them to go out and play. And the thing is, their teammates know. The teammates know the depth and how that should play out. So the more competitive we can have it in practice and the more competition there is for every position, the better we're all going to be.
Coach, does it seem like it's spring football, or does it seem like it's just a regular football season in your mind?
It seems really weird, to be honest with you. Just, having like the month of March used to be like a great month for me. I had my birthday, I had a best friend that had his birthday, and there was St. Patty's Day. And this year there was really no birthday party. I did send him a note for his birthday and there was 0 green beer. So it's a little different.
I'll tell you, the winning is a little different too.
Well, we're enjoying that.
All right, Coach, looks like that was the last question. Congratulations again on this week and good luck this weekend against the Salukis.
Okay, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, guys.